This is Hinos' Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. Breaking news. Breaking news, folks. Manny Pacquiao, Freddie Roach, and company are looking for their next opponents to be either Errol the True Spence or Danny Swift Garcia. I'm loving this because now that means that Manny Pacquiao's finally stepping up to the plate. Maybe he supposedly sees something in Errol Spence after the Sean Porter fight. Who knows? But I'm loving this because now the welterweight division is looking the way it's supposed to. This is what I was talking about. Manny Pacquiao, you have a legitimate full WBA belt. Step up, show out, or step to the side. Let me say it again. Step up, show out, or step to the side, man. It's really that simple. If you sat here and you fought Keith Thurman back on July 20th and you definitively beat him in a 12-round decision, right? And you had a knockdown on top of that. And you had a lot of boxing fans interested in seeing the rematch supposedly with Keith, you know what I'm saying, Runtime or aka Duck Time Thurman. But we know that shouldn't have happened because you definitively won that fight. You know what I'm saying? And to me, the Spence and the Porter fight was even more definitive than that. But you won that fight. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for the knockdown, that's a different story. But see, when that fight itself, right, well, a lot of people were sitting there looking at it and saying, man, you know what, Manny Pacquiao, you know what I'm saying, he clearly beat Keith Thurman, even though when you look at the numbers tell you that the fight was a lot closer than what it is. People didn't question that, right? People questioned Spence and Porter. They said, no, it's not 9-3. It's not 8-4. It was a 7-5. It was possibly a draw. It is what it is, man. We're not even going to entertain the Spence versus the Porter fight because, like Bob Arum said, 8-4. Let me say it again. Like Bob Arum said, 8-4. Now, we know, unfortunately, Errol the True Spence was in a car accident. We know this. But that still does not stop Freddie Roach from saying, you know what I'm saying, Errol the True Spence. Because Freddie Roach out of his own mouth said, I hope they pick Errol Spence or someone good. Let me say it again. This came out of Freddie Roach's mouth for the next fight. I hope they pick Errol Spence or someone good. And here's the thing. Freddie Roach says, I believe the talks is Errol the True Spence is going to be back in February. So they're looking to make this next fight in February, folks. This is going to be epic because we have not seen this in years, man. A southpaw versus a southpaw. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, man, Errol the True Spence was exposed, etc., etc. He's done. You know what I'm saying? Errol the True Spence is a fighter that's, he's a drinker and a driver, you know, yada, yada, yada. Listen, he's the unified WBC IBF champion. Let me say it again. He's the unified WBC and IBF champion. He's 26-0. And until he's defeated, I don't want to hear the Rudy pouring the plum brain stuff. I don't want to hear the classic Dota and the troglodytisms. I don't want to hear the ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. I just want us to focus on boxing here, folks. Because when it's all said and done, Errol the True Spence is the man at the welterweight division, and he's going to be fighting the money guy at the welterweight division. Manny Pacquiao's not the man at the welterweight division. He's the money guy at the welterweight division. Errol the True Spence is the man at the welterweight division. And once he beats Manny Pacquiao, he will definitively be the man and the money man at the welterweight division. I'm loving this because Freddie Roach out of his own mouth said, regardless of who they pick, he's going to be ready, said Fred Roach. He said, I hope they pick Errol Spence or someone good because Manny Pacquiao is going to be back in February. And the words that I'm hearing on the street is Errol the True Spence is expected to come back in February as well, too. So I understand the other opponent is Danny Garcia, but Danny Garcia should not get a Manny Pacquiao fight because he doesn't have a belt. Now, if Manny Pacquiao chooses to fight Danny Garcia, it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and say that that's not a good fight. That is a good fight. But you're not cleaning up the division fighting a Danny Garcia because he has nothing to clean up the division with. Errol Spence, on the other hand, has 2 belts to your 1 belt. So that is the more logical opponent. I want Errol the True Spence to come right back in February. I don't want no tune-up. I don't want none of that. I want him to fight Manny Pacquiao. I believe Errol the True Spence is going to be ready. I believe he's going to do his thing. And I believe he's going to take Manny Pacquiao out of it. If he doesn't have any broken bones, like it's reported, and all he has is facial lacerations, then, I don't see why he can't be back in February. I just can't. I think that's fair to say Errol the True Spence should be back in February to fight Manny Pacquiao. Y'all tell me in the comment section what y'all think, because Freddie Roach just said it. This is breaking news. I'm so happy to hear this, because this is what I wanted from the welterweight division, man. The big fish, Errol the True Spence, to continue on his dominance of cleaning up the division. So Manny Pacquiao, kudos to you for stepping up to the plate. Now, I know your opponent is either Errol Spence or Danny Garcia. I'm not going to get too excited about it, because I know if you pick Danny Swift Garcia, then I know you basically ducking Errol Spence. But if you pick Errol Spence, I'm going to be very happy about this, because this tells me that you understand that this division needs to be cleaned out, and we definitely need to find unequivocally and unquestionably who is the undisputed man at 147. This is Hino's the Sport, checking out.